Hello and welcome to a new video with my Lamborghini with my home-built turbo system. In this video it will be some work of the car and some driving from this summer. A small update I'm doing is that I am replacing the fuel injectors. I'm putting in 10 of these new babies. It's the Bosch 1500cc injectors. Also, I have these adapters on here that I have designed. It's similar to many of the other adapters out there, but I was not happy with some things with those. So that's the one that BJP Race is manufacturing, and we send them for anodizing for the same company doing anodizing for Koenigsegg actually, so it's good quality. It is also in these injectors some last chance filters. If there is any small particles after installing in the fuel rail, it will be catched here, and this one is replaceable. There is a last chance filter inside of these injectors. The Bosch EV14, the new ones, always have that, but it's not removable, that filter. It have helped to save some injectors with replacing, so I really like this one with the extra here, and it's not restricting any flow at all. So 10 of these new ones from my company here, BJP Race, and we are specializing in fuel injectors. So that's the thing the company has been working with for, I think more than 12 years. So let's see here. We have 5 on this side, 5 on the other side. It's pretty easy to get and hold of the injectors here. We have these quick disconnects. We have a couple of connectors to the injectors. It's the normal EV1 old connectors. The wiring harness on this car is still the stock one. I have some extra sensors, but most of the parts here is the stock ones. I think I have to remove, this is for the variator, for the camshaft here. So I think it's maybe just like a half an hour job to replace all the 10 injectors, maybe an hour. We have 3 bolts here, 1, 2 and 3, and of course the connections here. Here is where the fuel comes in, and in the back usually it's the fuel pressure regulator here, but now I have the welded-on pressure regulator over there. So here I have welded on an AN fitting here, AN8 on this one. So I will go for a little bigger injectors now. These are the Bosch Motorsport. They're expensive and very nice. Fuel rails are loose, and here, by the way, is one of the Formula 1 pressure and temp sensors that I have on the fuel rail here. And to install the injectors, it's very important to have the O-ring lubricant so you don't damage any O-rings. And of course these lockings will fit these injectors as well, these adapters, same as the stock Bosch injectors. 9 more to go. Injectors are on, ready to be installed, and here, by the way, is one of the adapters that is on there. Pretty simple part, but yeah. Okay, let's set up these injectors in the Motec here. And one thing I really like with the fuel model here, it's very smart. The system all the time knows how much the injector is injecting into the engine. And the injectors I have in the car here are custom characterized. So I have the linearization table here. And for example, this one knows here, we have in this axis, we have the fuel pressure, and this axis we have the fuel volume in microliters. And we can also choose here which voltage. So this is 12 volts, 14 volts for example, because we know the volumetric efficiency of the engine and what lambda we want to run. We can, for example, if the ECU wants to inject 29 microliters and we are at 14 volts and the fuel pressure is 400 kPa, it will need to be open 2.254 milliseconds. So yeah, for example, higher pressure here, it needs to be open less than that, and lower pressure, it needs to be open longer. So that's the smart thing when, for example, the fuel filter gets clogged, it adjusts itself, or if I need more fuel, I can just turn up the fuel pressure on the regulator without any tuning at all. It will just give more fuel. And now I think that these injectors I have installed now, the Bosch, are actually in here. Bosch have characterized these injectors. Now there is a lot of, when I just got the Motec, it was not a lot of injectors in there some years ago. Now they have done many injectors, and if you have injectors that are not characterized, you can send them to Motec and they will do it. So they will put all the values in. Now I put them in here and many options goes away. Let's see if it starts with these settings.
Motorvägen igen. Nu är det lite kanske upp till att det är en del som är...
Out for some hot dogs at Sibylla and some tuning here. Nice to make some good things with the engine, and yeah, you always need to eat. Move this for the passenger. Taking some photos here of the Lambo in front of the big castle here in Örebro. Very nice castle here. Driving here with Kalle, that usually was driving my Supra when we was tuning it over 1,000 horsepower, and he was riding along, but maybe he's getting old. He's a little bit scared when driving around. The rev limiter on most gears here. I'm going to install this roll bar
and this 4-point safety harness here in the car. And this roll bar is actually an option that is possible to order. I don't know if it is possible for all Gallardos or if it only is the Superleggera. But this was actually installed in the car when I bought it, so it was good. The first owner ticked that option, so it is brackets for it already in the car. Most of the time I have not been having this one into the car because it's a little bit more complicated to get access to the ECUs back there when the roll bar is installed. But now I don't think I'm gonna work a lot there with ECUs, so we'll install it. And you can see the seat here is already made here for the 4-point harness, and down here as well it has the original 3-point. I will keep that one, but then in the holes here we'll put the 4 points in there. So for track racing it will be a little bit more safe. By the way, the steering wheel, maybe you can see in my older videos, this one was silver. Now I painted this one black. This one was a little bit worn. It was like a mocha on the steering wheel, and it's known to become worn at very low usage. So it's brand new material on here. Feels very nice and looks very fresh. Actually, supposed to have gloves on all the time when having this, but I'm not using gloves all the time, and now I know that it is possible to replace this, and it's yeah, not very expensive.
Jag kommer gå in på andra sidan sen.
Okay, I'm sitting here in the Lambo. I've been sitting here maybe an hour or two checking through the computer. I did some connections back here that I have not made before. I'm making small improvements all the time. I really love to do this. Make the car a little bit better all the time. Just made some stickers here, boost, page, alarm, not the nicest one. So it's possible to see what all the buttons do. But yeah, small improvements. A little bit on the dash there. I will do a little bit more on the dash, but yeah, I really like this thing. I'm setting up all like the warnings, like the coolant pressure, coolant temp, oil pressure, and yeah, all different things. And if, for example, the water temp gets high, we will see, yes, engine hot, it will say here, and 2 of these red LEDs, very bright. And this warning will not go away until I push this one, the alarm acknowledge button. Push this 1 time, it says warning, and push it 1 more time, it goes away. And that's very good when driving. Anything goes wrong, I can see it directly. Also here I'm checking the log files and checking some runs I have done here on the street to see what I can do better. A little bit still with the drive-by-wire, I think with the idle and some adjustments by that. Yeah, 100%, that's good. Also on the PDM, power distributor module that is there, PDM 30. I did connect one of these buttons. It's for the IC fan, it says here. I have them on temp, but and I want to see how much the fans do to help cool the water for the intercooler. Now I have a switch here, so I can turn it on and off a little bit as I want and see what it does with the temperature. And this software of the PDM, Motec PDM, it looks a little bit old, but yeah, it's working. IC fan. I turn it on. Pretty high current there in the beginning, I think maybe 16 amps, but now when they're running it's about 5 amps growing there. I think that's about half for what I have set for tripping current there. Also here you can see all the currents for like the fuel pumps and everything, so that's good. You have some little special things there. Not using everything there right now. Also the boost here is connected now, so I can adjust it. For info, it's fire here if nobody knows what that red is. Never push the red ones, never push the red ones, same in the aircrafts. I have repaired a lawnmower tire that I'm going to replace now on the lawnmower at my old grandparents' house. Nice red little house here where they lived some years ago, and yeah, just stopping by to fix this. So here I played a lot when I was a small child. Never thought I would have a Lamborghini here someday. I don't think that was my dream until I got a little bit older. New tire on, easy installation, just the center cap. Yeah. And the service vehicle just outside. Let's go to Mantorp Park to the racetrack. I'm entering Mantorp Park here. Usually there's a lot of people here and the cars. Yeah, there's some teams here, but no spectators here. And because I have my YouTube channel, I got the press pass to go inside here to check some drag racing, and I will do some videos of cars and engines to make a YouTube video of that. No racing for me at Mantorp here this weekend, and it's raining, so no drag racing at the moment. I hope there can be racing here on Mantorp someday again, that I can go out with a Lamborghini. I'm checking a log file here, and last time when I was driving with my friend, the car felt slow. So I was checking the boost here. The green line is the boost aim of 100 kPa gauge, so that's 1 bar of boost. It was only 0.88 there, so it's low, the boost, and the boost is just coming up to full boost here at RPM 550, so that's really slow. We can see the duty cycle of the solenoid here. It's about 40, so I think that's more than usual. And I have these sensors on the wastegates, how they are open, and it's still not coming up to full boost. And the wastegates, you can see them, they are 20 millimeters open. They live their own life up here, so something is really wrong with the wastegates. I suspect some hose or something are loose. If I check somewhere here where I was driving, so this is how it's supposed to be look like. We have another run here, vehicle speed. This one must have been when I was in Mexico, just recent. Here we can see the boost aim, and the boost is almost the same here. One line, it's 100 kPa there, and we have the duty cycle, it's only 33, so the boost solenoid Mac valve is working less than it was before. And we have the wastegates here. It's a little bit difference between them sometimes here, but they are around 6 millimeters, 5 millimeters open, so they're much more closed. So we're reaching the boost, and the wastegates are much more closed there. Something must be wrong. Let's go and check if we can find. I suspect something with the vacuum hoses, something maybe to the wastegates. I don't think it's a problem with the turbos or anything that turbo is broken, because the wastegates is the ones that not doing as they should. Okay, just removed the intercooler. It's actually a pretty quick job, because it's 3 bolts here with the rubber mounts made that's installed to the gearbox, and some hoses here to get access to all the hoses and fittings. It's a little bit messy, a lot of things here. So I was testing the boost solenoid, the max solenoid here, and it was working all fine. So checking all of these hoses, a lot of them, and found all tight except this one. So maybe that small thing made it leak. And if I turn it, I can see here that is have been some chafing here on it. It looks fresh, this one. So this is probably have been against this worm hose here, this clamp. So maybe with vibration that made it move a little bit. Oh, you can see here also which country it's made in. This one, it's the XRP hoses here. So I will tighten it and see if I can move it a little bit so it will not hit that worm clamp. Maybe I can just rotate that clamp a little bit so it's not near the hoses there. Also here on the turbo to this wastegate, I could maybe feel that the hose from the fitting here may be rotating a little bit. So I think I will take it out and press it again or make a pressure test on that one. I had one hose that was a little bit suspected, but I doing the pressure test here, 200 psi. And I will never have 200 psi in this system, but it is not leaking. It's been there for some time here, so all fine. I did not have this equipment when I built all the hoses in the car, so all the hoses are not pressure tested, but very good to have. You put water in this one and pump the pressure with the handle here. Right, let's go out and check if that helped and that it will bring the boost up. Problem with the clutch is not working. I'm in first gear now, just barely got it in. This is a little bit funny. Just left my friend there. He's running to the garage to open the door because I cannot disengage the clutch, so I'm rolling. He will not have time to open, so I make a turn, a round turn there. Yeah. Reading out the log files before I go back to Abu Dhabi, and not so happy with the clutch that it's stuck now when I'm going out of here. It's not drivable when I come back, so first thing when I come back I think I need to remove the gearbox, everything here, turbo kit again, and check the